I will say, one thing I noticed when watching this movie is that it kind of made me feel down and out. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about a brand new HBO Max release called Lockdown. Let me know in the comments before we kick things off what your thoughts on this movie were, if you already saw it, if you were excited for it, if you weren't planning on seeing it. Let me know in the comments so we can discuss. Also, make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you like these reviews because it helps me out immensely if you do that by getting my channel out there and growing this community. Also, if you are new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with reviews of new films, older films, hidden gems, and so much more on a near daily basis. But now let's not waste any more time and let's talk about Lockdown. This stars Anne Hathaway and Chiwetel Ejiofor as Linda and Paxton, a couple who attempts a high-risk, high-stakes jewelry heist at a department store in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. This is directed by Doug Liman and was written by Stephen Knight, creator of Peaky Blinders, and who also gave us one of 2019's most bizarre movies, Serenity, which he wrote and directed. And this is one of now a number of movies that incorporates the pandemic into its story, with other films such as Host, Songbird, and Borat's subsequent movie film, and they're all kind of forming their own little neat subgenre in a way, considering how many of these we got so quickly. Though, while this film is marketed as more of this major heist comedy set during the pandemic, that's really only one small part of the film. This is actually more of this character study of this one couple looking inward and reevaluating their marriage as they're shut in together and have to make all of these adjustments. Now, Anne Hathaway and Chiwetel Ejiofor are both great as our two leads. That's one thing I really enjoyed about the film. They're both very energetic and they have solid chemistry with each other. Hathaway provides a number of the laughs here as she's trying to hold everything together and we watch her break down in real time, while Ejiofor is the one with more pathos as we learn he has a difficult time getting work due to this incident from a number of years ago, and he has to pick up these odd jobs, which itself is made worse because of the pandemic. And there were individual moments I enjoyed when they were together, but unfortunately, the film as a whole didn't really come together, I think, the way it was hoping to. I think part of it is due to the fact that there were limitations placed on the cast and crew, and most of the interactions, besides anything between Hathaway and Ejiofor, as well as the heist itself, are all over Zoom. And we do get this who's who of cameos from other big names popping up throughout this on Zoom, like Ben Stiller, Ben Kingsley, Mindy Kaling, and Stephen Merchant, to name a few. And they all go in and out, but it was nice to see them pop up, and I think Stiller had the best of the cameos with a few funny lines thrown in there as Hathaway's boss. But this is one of those films that suffers from trying to do so much that it never really hones in on what makes each of these individual things compelling. It's one part heist movie, which we don't even get until the end, and it's also one part romantic drama, while also being a movie about trying to move forward in the midst of this pandemic. And some stuff worked, but the film is incredibly dialogue heavy and it hits us with a lot of exposition, probably because it could only do so much with its limited setting, but nothing about that dialogue really popped. Because in addition to a lot of the exposition, we also get a lot of the characters complaining and groaning through some of their dialogue. And outside of Ejiofor's character, we didn't get much that made them all that interesting. We got some of the usual jokes about life and COVID, which at times got a few chuckles, but there was just a dull feel to it overall. Again, I know the crew can only do so much with what they were given, and I don't mind a dialogue-heavy film, but there was only so much there to keep you hooked, and it wound up starting to repeat some of the same complaints over and over again. I think had the film maybe been a half hour or so shorter, then it would have been somewhat okay, because the film drags at times. It's 2 hours long, and as I said, we don't even get the heist part until the last act. I think had the film leaned into some of that stuff sooner and cut some of the repetitive conversations down significantly, it would have worked better, because it takes way too long to get to the point, and I could see people getting bored with this by an hour in or so. Unfortunately, this really just did not work for me. It seemed like a valiant effort as it has a talented cast and crew, and it was trying to make the most out of this tough situation, but it's a film that's way too long that focuses heavily on dialogue, though without really having anything interesting to say other than a few COVID-related jokes. The performances from Anne Hathaway and Chiwetel Ejiofor were great. There was some nice character development for Ejiofor in particular, and they were what made these characters enjoyable, but it just wasn't enough here, unfortunately. Lockdown gets a 5 out of 10. So let me know, did you see Lockdown, or are you planning to see it? And what were your thoughts? Did you find it funny? Have you enjoyed any of these movies about the pandemic? Let me know in the comments below so we can discuss. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it. And for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll catch you next time.